Have you ever seen an action lead to a terrible outcome, but felt uncertain about blaming the person involved? It is a common dilemma. Intentions significantly impact moral culpability, often distinguishing between blameworthy acts, excusable accidents, and even praiseworthy efforts despite negative results. They are a crucial factor in determining how much moral responsibility an agent bears for their actions. The way intentions affect culpability varies across different ethical frameworks. For example, in deontological ethics, which focuses on duties and rules, the intention behind an action is paramount. A morally good act is often defined by its adherence to duty and the goodwill or intention of the agent. If an action is performed with a good intention, even if the outcome is unexpectedly bad, the act itself might still be considered morally worthy in a deontological sense. This perspective believes that a moral act comes from a moral will. Consequentialist theories, like utilitarianism, however, place primary importance on the outcomes of actions. From this viewpoint, while intentions might indicate an agent's character, they do not directly determine the moral rightness or wrongness of the action itself. If a good intention leads to a disastrous outcome, a consequentialist might still deem the action morally wrong, even while acknowledging the agent's good heart. However, consistently good intentions that lead to poor outcomes might suggest a lack of foresight or competence, which can factor into a broader assessment of responsibility. Virtue ethics, on the other hand, views intentions as reflections of an agent's character. Acting with good intentions is part of what it means to be a virtuous person. Cultivating good intentions, therefore, is essential for developing moral character. Here, culpability might arise not just from a bad outcome, but from intentions that betray a lack of virtue, such as malice, indifference, or recklessness. A concept that beautifully illustrates the role of intention is the principle of double effect. This principle suggests that an action with both a good effect and a foreseeable bad effect can be morally permissible if the bad effect is not directly intended, the good effect is proportionate to the bad, and the action itself is not inherently wrong. It directly uses intention to differentiate between a permissible side effect and an impermissible intended harm. When evaluating moral situations, understanding these distinctions means we should consider the agent's state of mind. We should ask whether they foresaw or desired the negative consequences, what the primary purpose behind their action was, and their general capacity for moral reasoning. This shifts the focus from merely observing results to understanding the ethical process that led to them. In legal philosophy, there is a parallel concept known as mens rea, which translates to a guilty mind. This requires that a person must have had a particular mental state, such as intent or knowledge, to be held criminally liable for certain offenses. Similarly, in moral philosophy, even if an outcome is negative, the absence of malicious intent can significantly mitigate moral culpability. However, the presence of negligence or recklessness, even with a generally good intention, can still introduce a degree of blameworthiness. Ultimately, recognizing how intentions affect moral culpability moves us beyond a simple black and white assessment of right and wrong. It enables a more nuanced ethical analysis, allowing us to distinguish between unfortunate accidents, culpable negligence, and truly malevolent acts. This sophisticated understanding fosters more just and insightful evaluations of human behavior and moral responsibility.